You've got to get up pretty early in the morning to speak to America's hardworking farmers and food producers. We should know. FLM Harvest is a strategic, full-service creative consultancy proud to reach more farmers, farmer boards, and food and commodity associations than any agency in the country. And we understand omni-channel as well as we understand the journey from field to fork. Most importantly, we connect clients to the audiences that matter to them.
Thanks for joining us for this week's Meet the Lawmaker. We're joined by Congressman Randy Feenstra of Iowa. He's Republican serving the 4th District. And Congressman, thanks for joining me today. First of all, just tell me a little bit about yourself. You're new to Congress. So folks from our listeners and viewers want to know a little bit more about you. So just first of all, tell me about yourself.
Hey, you bet, Ben. Great to be on with you and great to be on with Agri-Pulse. I'm born and raised in Northwest Iowa in a small little town of 2,500 people and grew up understanding agriculture. You know, when I was young, you know, we walked beans, baled hay, vaccinated cattle, you know, loaded hogs, and then I married a farm girl, and her family is very, very big into cattle and hogs. So my family and I, we spend a lot of time on the farm, just working there, you know, whether it be loading and sorting hogs or whatever it might be. But it's been a great pleasure and opportunity to serve the people of the 4th District. And the 4th District is either the second or largest rural district in all the country. And my county, where I'm from, is probably the #1 county in the world when it comes to agriculture production.
As far as looking at the committees you're on, one of those is the Agriculture Committee. What do you hope to bring as far as experience to that committee and serving on it?
Yeah, so my experience just being in agriculture, being in rural Iowa, you know, for me, it's all about the producers. The producers are the ones that make the product and get it to market. And I think so often, you know, people go to the grocery store and they see the product and they don't know where it comes from. Well, it's these people that work hard called producers, and they're the ones that make it. And in the Midwest, we're the breadbasket to the world. And for me, I want to advocate for, you know, people on the East Coast and West Coast, how this happens. And we do it in a way that is humane and fair. And, you know, I want to be the advocate and the voice for agriculture, just because that's who I am, and that's what our 4th District is all about.
As far as the 4th District, when you look at some of the agriculture and crops grown there, as well as livestock produced, tell me about some of the practices there and what your farmers produce for the world here.
Exactly. So we are either #1 or 2 when it comes to corn and soybeans, cattle, hogs, dairy, eggs, and turkeys. We are, like I said, we have a hog confinement virtually on every corner where I live, every square mile. And then we have just a tremendous amount of corn and soybeans that we produce, and that goes into feeding back to the animals, the livestock, and it also goes into ethanol and biodiesel, which again, we are either #1 or 2 in the nation in production of both of those products. So our 4th District, I'm so proud of the producers and what they do. They are the true lifeblood of rural Iowa.
As far as other committees you serve on, can you talk about some of those and what you hope to accomplish there?
Yeah, so I also serve on the Science Committee, which I'm really excited about. Hopefully I can get on the subcommittee of the Biofuels Committee. Again, that really works with ethanol and biodiesel. And then I sit on the Budget Committee, and I am sort of a tax expert. I have a background in economics, and I did teach business and economics at one of the universities in Iowa. And I look forward to really working with trying to reduce our budget and get to a balanced budget, because I feel that's probably one of the greatest concerns our country has right now is the deficit we have.
As far as working with folks on the other side of the aisle, how do you plan to do that with a Biden administration and also the House Democrats who are in control right now?
Yeah, so I just think when it comes to agriculture specifically, I think it's very bipartisan. I think we can work together when it comes to renewable fuels. I think we both agree that we got to do more with renewable fuels. And if we look at ethanol and biodiesel, that's the cleanest form of energy that is being made currently. And I think we have an opportunity on both sides of the aisle to look at that and expand it. Also, when it comes to agriculture, broadband, I think both sides understand how important broadband is, especially to rural Iowa, to precision farming, to our hospitals, telehealth, to our schools. So these are areas I think that we can work together on. And now with the new USDA, head of USDA, Vilsack, who is an Iowan, I really look forward to working with him and working with the administration on trying to further some of these policies.
As far as the Ag Committee and the Science Committee, were these committees ones you wanted to be on, or specifically, is that kind of why you chose those committees, or how did?
Yeah, I was so passionate. I mean, I called every steering committee person. I called anybody I could to make sure that I was on the Ag Committee, because to me, it's just so important. It's who I am. It's what we are in the 4th District. And we have issues. The producers have issues. We have pricing transparency issues that we need to resolve. Again, whether it be rural broadband or the RFS, and then with the new administration, there's obviously uncertainty with the waivers, with WOTUS, with Waters of the U.S. I mean, these are all things that I want to make sure that there's a voice and that protects our farming community.
As far as looking at your specific priorities related to food and agriculture, I guess, what are some of those, and what do you hope to accomplish here in Congress in this session and moving forward?
Yeah, so for me, the big thing is fairness. The ag industry is changing. It has dramatically changed over the last 10 years with technology, with precision farming, but also with our producers. Vertical integration is always a concern when you have independent producers, and then when you have packers that start own production and stuff like that. So I am all about making sure that whether you're an independent producer or an integrator, that there's fairness in the system. And I look at that as pricing transparency, and I want to go down that path. And then the other big part is renewable energy, that it plays such a big part that not only in our country, but exporting renewable fuels. And I want to make sure that, the waivers that, we don't have that anymore, and continue to expand the RFS.
I know Congress can be kind of busy at times. What do you like to do in your spare time when you're not in Congress and just kind of doing your own thing?
Yeah, well, when I'm back at home, I have 4 wonderful children, and they're in sports. I love watching them play basketball. That's what's happening right now. And then to clear my head, I have to go for a run every day, just to clear my head and go out for a 3 or 4 mile run. And in Iowa, it's the greatest thing. I get a run on the gravel roads and see rural America. It's just, to me, it's one of the great things that I get to do by myself and just collect my thoughts.
Well, Congressman, I really appreciate your time today.
Yeah, Ben, thank you so much for having me on Agri-Pulse.